What up, dudes? Welcome into C-Ball Get Ball. Season closing to an end, man. But portal season is very much upon us. I think I've seen as much as I possibly can about the portal lately, and it's everywhere. So we're definitely seeing those numbers continue to rise. I talked to a coach today and just wanted to kind of pick his brain. So I'll give you his thoughts. High profile school, and just where college football's at and some of his concern. We'll do the numbers. We'll do who on the weekend. But to me, we got to start somewhere that I think really, really matters. Watching that game back, the Indiana game, and watching Fernando Mendoza, it was clinic tape. It was the best quarterback tape I've seen this season, I think. Showed the arm strength, showed the timing, showed the toughness, shows the ability to scramble. Showed you really everything. And I think the leadership is something that you continue to see. Obviously, time and time again. Like people make fun of him sometimes because of the way he talks. You got to love it. And if you're an NFL team, you're like, yep, sign me up for that. Like, sign me up for that dude. Sign me up for talking about the team first mentality. But it got me to thinking. And I literally, you think about college football and how wacky it is. And there's 4 new teams this year that are in it that weren't in it last year. So the Final Four was completely different. And why is that? What does it mean? Where is the game at? And here's the bottom line. The game has been a quarterback league for a long time. And obviously you saw that you've seen that in the NFL for years and years to come. Now you're seeing in college, you're seeing the numbers that are being spent are going at an astronomical rate. But it also led me to this too, because I was talking to some buddies at church and we were just breaking down Indiana, and people talked about, like, I just thought Oregon was going to be better. And I'm like, Oregon is better. Across the board, Oregon probably is better. But they don't have Mendoza. And here's the bottom line, and I would challenge anybody out there, and I'd be interested to see if any of the people in the national media agreed with this or would disagree with it. If you put Mendoza on any of the Final Four teams, they win. If you put Mendoza on Texas Tech, I think we can make an argument that Texas Tech could win this thing. Like, they're missing a QB. If you put Mendoza on Oklahoma with their defense, I think you got a chance. Now, Alabama is the only one that I would say. Georgia, yes. I think you're winning a natty. The only one that I might buck back a little bit is Ole Miss, because Trinidad is a superhero, and I think he showed you, like, that dude is just special and unique, and another guy that brought extreme value. Obviously, he's the guy, man. Like, he's just the dude. And last year, it was kind of interesting. If you looked at the Final Four teams last year, you look at the teams that were fighting in it. Like, there wasn't like a quarterback that was above everybody else. Like, Riley Leonard was a dude, but it was more scrambling, right? And you saw Penn State. They got good quarterback play, but not elite quarterback play. Texas had good quarterback play with Quinn Ewers, not elite quarterback play. So Will Howard and company with weapons, took care of business and won the national championship. But to me, the clear, unprecedented leader of this college football playoff and the best player is on Indiana. And that's why Indiana is where Indiana is at. They have a good run game, yes. But the throw game and the ability to bail you out and make plays time and time again behind a good offensive line. They're not an elite pass pro offensive line. Mendoza's elite, and he makes everybody around him extremely elite. So bottom line, if you take every playoff team minus maybe 1 or 2, obviously not counting the JMUs and the Tulanes, I think Mendoza wins it. I think Mendoza takes his team and goes and wins a national championship. So that's what I think about it. Brent, I'd be curious to see what you think about that. Like, what you think about that statement. I didn't tell you I was going to do that because I wanted you to kind of just I wanted you to hear it and react to it naturally.
Well, it's also the timing of it. Like, he's on an absolute heater right now. Ohio State, Alabama, Oregon. Like, Will Howard last year was, I think, 8 or 9 touchdowns in their playoff run to I think 2 picks, over 300 yards a couple times. But in terms of Like he's likely going to be the number 1 pick in the draft too, and deservedly so.
He's
this year
going to be.
Yeah, especially once him and Brady, because I think the Raiders have the first pick, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Once him and Brady sit down, like if they haven't already,
and nerd out,
and they just start nerding out like crazy, and whiteboarding and leadership stuff, like no matter what in terms of conversation, he's going to fall in love with him. He's going to be the first pick in the draft, and this game and next week, it's going to be. I think it's testing your hypothesis to the nth degree. I will say that, because there are some things that he's going to have to cover up, especially mentally, in this game against Miami. But I do agree. Like if you put him on a bunch of these other teams that are in the playoff, yes, very
the final
much so.
four. The final four, 100%, no doubt. Not even. I don't think it's debatable. Georgia, 100%.
Yes.
Texas Tech. I don't know if their weapons are great enough. I don't know if their offensive line is good enough to hold up, but I take my chances because that defense would keep me in every game, and I feel like I could use his wheels to
he'd
offset
make enough
some
plays.
things.
Maybe
the only ones that I question is Oklahoma's offensive line, Alabama's inability to run the football. Could he carry those teams? But he would have carried them further, and they would have been a threat. Like he's that good, dude. Like he really is that good and that big and that strong and that athletic to go with the mental, to go with the team player. There's not a single box that he doesn't check. Like when you're going to build your quarterback, like I want a guy that can see over the line and throw over the middle of the field. I want a guy that can throw with anticipation, with timing. I want a guy that can attack the whole field. Like I want a guy with experience that started a bunch of games, seen a bunch of things. Oh, and I also want a guy that makes you play the second reaction play, that can scramble, that can buy time, that can get the +1 when I need it. So 6'5", 235, probably going to run a 4.6 something. Like, so unless I'm missing something, I don't see a box that's not checked. I don't see a single thing that Fernando Mendoza can't do on a football field.
And he's checked the production box. Like, because last year, when you think back to his time at Cal, it was a glimpse. It was glimpses. Like he had more, and part of it was who the team he was on, but you saw the glimpses of the talent. You didn't see it on a consistent basis. Now you get to see it on a consistent basis when you put competency around him everywhere.
Yeah, so it's an incredible
hyper
run.
Intelligent too, because he's already graduated from Cal.
Yeah,
it wasn't like he went to Cal and just
Brent,
slept
find
late.
a box. Like, find a box that isn't checked. Find me one. Like, I don't think people understand. Like, Indiana's a really, really good football team, and you can bring in Marsh and Hoover and these guys, and that is going to be awesome. And your team's still going to be competitive. The reason you took that next step was because you got that dude. Like, that dude, Surratt's good. Cooper's good. Becker's good. They're really good when they're with him. Like, they become elite, guys that can make really, really big plays because just like Tom Brady and some of those other guys, they made everybody better. They made when you throw on time, in rhythm, have a big arm, have anticipation, you make everyone better. Everyone else gets to play a different brand of football. Other guys aren't having that luxury in other spots. So, like, Mendoza's been that flipping good. So enjoy it. It's one of the best seasons you've seen, and he's been the reason for it.
So, have you seen where his dad always celebrates while sitting? Because his mom obviously has, I love that. That's
his
phenomenal.
mom has MS, is in a chair. I mean, it's just. Go
ahead.
I was going to read the chat real quick. Do you think Indiana's O-line will be able to fend off Bain and Mesidor?
Okay, we're gonna get to that a little later. We're gonna hit that question in the numbers.
We'll get to that for sure. Keep you coming in the chat, but
I have, and he's also trying to be like Burrow. I think it's the first since Burrow to win the Heisman and the national championship. But have some sort of little fun game with all these little segments that we got here. Fact or fiction? So Indiana, a phenomenal state. Are they the best program in their own state now?
So you're saying Notre Dame?
Because like Notre Dame is sitting right there, and that, you know, think about the history of those two programs and where it is currently. Are they the better program in the state? You think that's fact or fiction?
I mean, this year, yes. Notre Dame beat them last year,
right?
Knocked them out of the playoff. So sustainability and future, I wouldn't be ready to say that. But this year, obviously, the stars aligned. Everything kind of worked out in their favor. But I think it's going to be close. I don't think Indiana's going anywhere. I don't think anybody does. But obviously, all time, this isn't even a debate. Like,
no.
This isn't even a like.
This is a right now question.
A small blip on the radar. Like this is a stretch mark on Notre Dame's butt from the stuff that what they've done throughout their career. Like, but right now, like I would say that when you're talking about Cignetti, like as much as Marcus Freeman got a lot of pub, there's no coach getting more pub than Cignetti. Like
right.
If Cignetti wrote on a napkin like, "Hey, talent beats talent when talent beats or hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard." Oh my God, it's the greatest quote in the history of the world. Like we literally would be like, Cignetti's the biggest genius I've ever seen. That's one thing, honestly, because I'm very much a contrarian. I get really, really tired of certain narratives. But the fact that, like, I saw an ESPN article the other day and it was like, Cignetti personally watches every transfer. No shiznick, Sherlock. So does every other motherfreaking coach in college football. Like, they all watch them. Like, you don't think Kirby down the road is going, nah, y'all got it. Like, hey, that's good. You. Like, I trust you with my $2.5 million check I'm about to stroke. Like, no shiznick. Like, that part bothers me a little bit. Like, I love Sig, and I think he's been great for the sport. His confidence, his leadership, like he's got all of the right things. Here's the thing though. Here's what the media is always going to do. Build. Give me a crack. I'll slap that and I'll knock you right back down a few pegs. Because that's exactly what the media does. Exactly.
I thought you were just hating on the article because it came from ESPN.
No, I have no ill will towards anyone. I don't care that I got fired. That doesn't bother me.
I'm just messing with you. So just one good question to actually Dane Young that I work with at UGAsports.com had a great.
Dane actually asked a good question.
Yes.
Just kidding.
On the
Dane,
dog
I'm just kidding, homie.
And it's
joke, Dane.
What do you think teams are going to look at from what Indiana's done in this 2-year time frame to copy? Because we already talked about the age factor and how many of their guys are
upperclassmen,
experienced players. And
I think that went hand in hand with it. Just happened to be a bunch of guys that Cignetti worked with for several years at JMU. So, like, I don't think they invented anything. I don't think there's some new blueprint that everybody's going to look at. I'll say this: I think there's a lot of people that absolutely do look at stars when it comes to recruiting, and I do think the Parcells model, which was before Cignetti, believe it or not. Like the Parcells model of like starts and experience. Like he wasn't going to take a quarterback in the NFL that didn't have 3 years of starts, right? Like, so I think that having guys that are experienced that might not be as talented, I do think that brings into question that more. Like, should I go for guys that might be less money, less talented, but more experienced that makes up the gap of that youth talented stuff? But here's the thing, like, staying power has always resulted in high school recruiting. So this would have to be a perennial shift that you can do all of it through recruiting, which I just don't. You're going to be more talented probably next year at Indiana, but you ain't going to have Mendoza.
Yeah. So I thought about that from a football perspective only, because that's more like player and kind of the logistics and external world that college football exists in now. From a football perspective only, two things to me are unique about what they do. One is they have a type offensive and defensive line. Like movements, they prioritize movement and movement skills over size. And that's going to get tested to the nth degree in this game against Miami. So I think
Miami's
that's one thing.
Big old Acers.
And two.
But hold on. Let me address that one first. Okay, but there's thousands of systems out there. Some do that, some don't. Like, that's not any different than certain systems that you see across the board. Some believe in mass and like guys that can eat people up. Some believe in quick twitch that can penetrate. Right. Missouri versus Georgia versus Indiana, right? Like versus Ole Miss. Like I think that's all schematically driven by what you have. And if you don't have big people, or if you believe in smaller folks, I'll be honest. I talked to a college coach earlier in the season watching the game. I'm like, listen, coach, why does anybody prioritize big bodies anymore? And he was like, what do you mean? I was like, I don't see a lot of ace kicking Jessies anymore. I don't see, even though they're 340, I don't see a lot of guys with nasty moving people off the ball. So I'd rather have 260. I'd rather be a little bit lighter in the loafers that I can stab and move, that I can quickly penetrate, exchange gaps really quickly, but still good enough to anchor. But like you said, Cristobal and company, they said, okay, you build yourself light in the ace. I'll kick your ace, because mass equals, or ace equals mass, right? Like whatever the way he said it, and mass kicks is what he said. So I
that
do
was
think,
one thing.
Yeah, so I think that's a reasonable thing, but I think that's all across college football, just depending on your style.
So the other thing I thought was unique with them, when you've watched them all this, is, and I'm sure their coaching staff would very much agree with me, but just from watching it from afar, it's a very simplistic offense. It's, hey, let's go get these receivers. Let's RPO you to death. You do this, we do that. And in this transfer portal world, when you're going to have to bring in guys year in, year out, you got to be able to plug and play. And I think that's something that, from an offensive system standpoint, it's not like you're, running the most complex thing on planet Earth.
Here's what I'll say.
Now, I think Mendoza's also
I'm about to say,
taking that to the next level.
You see, and I'm not, Brent works for PFF and On3. Brent knows X's and O's as well as anybody who's listening to this, period. But you see simplistic and easy because the quarterback makes it look simplistic and easy. He makes it look stupid easy. He threw an out route in that game from left hash to right sideline a second before his receiver breaks, and you could have gone out there and handed that puppy the ball. You couldn't have done it any better. So that's an easy decision. Hey, we're going to run an out versus inside leverage. But inside leverage to the wide side of the field and making that throw, if you miss by this much, it might be a pick six. You miss inside on that throw, they gamble. They have their foot set in the ground. Like, he makes this thing look easy because he can do it easy. He can read it so fast, and then he can also make that next play. Last year, you had the same cast of characters. It wasn't the same Indiana team. It was a really good team.
Yeah, and I think
lacked what they have now.
But the system, at least, sustainability. So anyway, fun stuff to talk about Indiana, because we're going to talk more about the game later.
No doubt. Well, let's talk. Now. I want to talk some big spenders, and I want to talk the world of college football. Talk to another coach today. Interesting. Just talking about, we set out to fix this portal situation. And when I say portal situation, we set out to fix the money and the guardrails. And we did the one-time transfer. And you know what they did? Hey, we're going to put in a salary cap. So there's a $2.7 billion, basically settlement. That this settlement's like, now we're going to break this down, $20.5 million per school, and we're going to put some guardrails in place. Hold my freaking beer. We have done nothing. Everything's up 20%. Everybody's getting paid through the roof. Promised NIL money and the Deloitte law firm, my ace. It is doing absolutely nothing. Nothing for the sport. The coaches are trying like crazy to find some kind of a fix and try to change the system a little bit. They have no say. They can't change this. The coaches can only change the calendar, and they're in the process of trying to change the calendar, like trying to fix this. They voted 100% to change the calendar. Like, the oversight committee comes in and they say no. Oversight committee is presidents and ADs. So, like, they're trying like heck. They got one transfer portal, obviously. But here's what you need to know. Here's where you need to look. And this isn't going to be hard to figure out because you're kind of seeing the tea leaves out. If you live in the state of Texas, God bless America. You're where you need to be. In this world of NIL, Cody Campbell said it. He ain't sugarcoating it. I got money. Let's make it happen. Like these donations are not tax deductible. If you ain't got a B next to your name as an alum, your school is absolutely going to be behind the eight ball. Can you negotiate? Can you be really, really good at getting guys for less? Absolutely. Can you win the whole thing and win the end game? I don't know, man. I don't know. So who do you want to be? Texas Tech's made it pretty clear. Like Cody Campbell, Texas Tech, it's very clear. It's good to be them. Texas now, 2 feet, baby. Like, do you think the Longhorns aren't looking down the road going, wait a minute, Lubbock made it to the playoff? Lubbock made it to the Elite Eight? Like Texas right down the road in Lubbock? That town? Austin is prestigious. Like, this is where we're supposed to be. You think those gazillionaires are going like, it's cool? Hell no. They're like, okay, we're in. And what do you see with Texas? We need a receiver for Arch. Arch played really good down the stretch. Okay. How much you need? $5 million? Okay. I'll go get you the best receiver in the portal. Does that sound good? We need a running back. Need a running back with some juice. Okay, well, hold on. Our top guy, he's already gone somewhere else. Has he signed a contract yet? Is that done? Okay. How much? Like, it's good to be the state of Texas. Texas A&M? You think Texas A&M is going to be left out? Like, nah, y'all have at it. Like, dude, it's great to be from Texas. Like I've said it before. They drive to work with their cars and they oh, crap. Like, oh, that was a stack of hundreds right there. That's $1 million right there. Like, the money's different, man. Like, the money's different there. You know what else you want to be? You want to have a big billionaire booster backer. Like, I don't know, maybe the guy that owns Nike. That'd be awesome. I could be Oregon. I want to be Oregon. Like, you know who else I want to be? I want to be a guy that invented maybe some really good tech company, like Mark Cuban. Oh, yes. Indiana. Beautiful. And the list could go on a little bit more, but 2 other to add, really, who I want to. I'm just telling you who I want to be in this era. Y'all can knock and say I'm saying whatever. I'm telling you in this era, this is who I want to be. I want to be next on the list. I want to be Ohio State. Money. We got some serious money. Serious money. Michigan? Yes. Yes, please. You saw that Bryce Underwood a couple years ago. God, I love that kid. Yeah, LSU's got him. Sorry, man. LSU's got him. Are you sure? Like, hold on. Will this do? Yeah, he's good. He's in. Like, I was worried about, he was worried about his development, but the bank account's really developed now. We'll find somebody to coach us, right? Like, I mean, I'm just saying, like, if you're looking at Ohio State's roster a couple years ago, like being $20 million, like Texas Tech exceeded that. And now Texas is like, okay, we got this. Like, all these people, like it's being estimated. And again, it's raw numbers that the data's not there, but you're talking about they're going to be a lot closer to 40. God bless Texas. Y'all heard that song back in the day? We used to sing that song. God bless Texas with his own hands. Listen, that oil money's different. And again, I'm just saying, who do I want to be in this era? I want to be from Texas, the big Texas schools. I want to be Oregon. I want to be Indiana now with Cuban and company and the largest alumni base. I want to be Ohio State. I want to be Michigan, bro.
So fact or fiction, Texas is going to be the preseason #1 team again.
Oh, man. I say no.
Because you know the hype train is going to be full steam ahead.
The way they finished, and here's the thing, like, and we're going to talk about this all offseason. I've been very vocal about this. Sark is a California dude. He needs a mother-freaking bulldog. He needs a guy that can take care of the defense, ruffle some feathers, and have an edge about him. Enter Will Muschamp. Best thing about Will Muschamp, dude. He can relate to players. He can talk the language. He can bring scheme and discipline. But the dude is a war daddy. you're going to respect him and you're going to play hard. Like, there is no, like, maybe. You're going to. And so I think that immediately helps with Sark's personality and bringing more of that edge. So I'll say no, and I'll say no because I think the fatigue of last year and the newness of last year, I think there'll be too many people that are scared off, and I don't think they'll be number one, but they ain't going to be lower than 3. Yeah, there'll be 2. There'll be 2 just because some people are like, yeah, a little trigger shy, like, nah, I don't want that.
So they'll probably be 2, and then Ohio State 1. They'll just flip them in the preseason.
Yes, something like
what
that.
We had a season ago. I actually thought about this over the weekend in terms of what, and with all the transfer portal moving and the players, and you talk about Cam Coleman at receiver, Hollywood Smothers at running back, those things. Has college football kind of become like fantasy football now? Where, you have your team name, like you as a fan, hey, like I'm the whatever, I'm the WV dog every year in fantasy football. What's your team name in fantasy?
Pollack's Pimps, I think. I couldn't think of anything else. I think that was literally what I went with.
Yeah,
not a good name.
Yeah. Anyway,
hey, I bet you would be some pass rushers though. I'd load the boat on pass rushers.
But and that's you cheer for your team, but each year it's going to be different guys you're drafting, and maybe somebody has a good year, and you're like, hey, I want them on my team next year. That feels kind of like what college football is right now.
Well, and here's the thing. Everybody who compares or everyone who says, I can't stand the transfer portal, but you welcome people to your team. You quickly welcome people to your team. So
hey, you
get pissed when your guys leave, but when somebody comes in, you're like, forget that. Like, so I get the newness, but here's the thing. It's very much like free agency. Free agency happened in the NFL. Free agency happened in the NBA. Nobody liked it. Everybody hated it because it was new. Then you start to get used to it. Time goes by and you're just not as upset with it anymore. And it's kind of your new norm. Because just like talking to a couple of coaches, tampering is so stupid and out of control. Like, it's out of control because agents just contact GMs. Hey, man, I might get my guy in the portal. What do you think? Like, what do you think? What is the number thinking? Okay, we'll start the bidding here. Like, degrees are an afterthought. They're worthless. Anyways, one more team I want to put on the list. One more team I want to put on the I'm ready to win now list. It's got to be South Carolina. And you got to love it if you're a South Carolina fan. Like, I don't know who their booster is, but I know this. Shane Beamer went 4-8, and Shane Beamer was not happy about it. How do I know that? Lenora Sellers could have commanded a lot of money on the free market. He got a lot of money to stay. Hey, what do you think about the OC that we fired? Didn't like him. Why don't you come in here? Like, hey, come here real quick. Like, let's take some notes. Who do you like? What kind of ball you want to play? Does Kendall Briles maybe suit your fancy? Like, what do you think about this, and this? That sounds good. Okay.
Got some money to stay.
Got Dylan Stewart, over $2 million to stay, guaranteed. Like, he's getting cheddar. Like, if I'm Lenora Sellers, by the way, another thing, I walked in that room, I'm like, need an OC? Want some input? That line you got me in front of, do better. Go spend some cheddar and do better. Okay, elite offensive tackle, peak. Everybody wanted him in the country. Come on in. Purvis from Purdue. Miller from UCF. They got a guy, Arnett from Ferris State. Like, completely rebuilding that. I probably need another big weapon on the outside because Harbor's getting paid, with his speed. Like, he's getting his. Jaden Gibson from Oklahoma, 6'5", another big target on the outside. Like, and so this world is nuts, man. This world is crazy. It's nuts. And I don't like to get too much into it because I know too much information. And I'll be honest, there's a lot. There's a lot that's going on, and the numbers are crazy. I mean, Ty Simpson. Look at Ty Simpson. Like, yes. That dude could get $6.5 million a year or go to the NFL. The NFL is awesome. That dream is awesome. 6.5 to stay with, maybe go with the Hurricanes or LSU. Like, golly. I mean, unbelievable. I know people are probably like, I'm pissed at this and I'm tired of hearing about this stuff, but like.
Well, what's the motivation oftentimes for this is you have the returning quarterback. It's either, hey, we got to go get the quarterback, a la Texas Tech again, or this year, or I have the returning quarterback. I like this guy. Now I'm just going to go put everything around him. The question for me will be, after these 2 years, what is the sort of repercussion for a coach who doesn't have success with all the money that is spent? That's, I think, going to be fascinating.
Well, it's very simple. It's win now. It's not. There's not. This is very simple and very easy. The leashes are getting tighter. Like it's. So
you think that's that way for Sark in Texas?
How the heck could it not be? Like if you tell me Sark is getting who he's getting, and I'm buying you a new DC, and I'm spending all this money, and you can't get me to the playoffs.
Okay, so let's spin it. So they have the season that they had, not this past season, but the year before. They get to the SEC championship game, lose. They win a home playoff game, and then they lose the next round. They won one more, but so they get to the Final Four. Is that okay? Is that a successful season given the money that's spent?
Final Four is a different conversation. How you lost, probably a different conversation. But getting to the playoff and beating a first round opponent and not getting further, you're gone. There's no way. There's no way. Okay. I mean, there's just no way. It's just it's crazy because I mean, I hear what you're saying and I understand what you're saying. And in the past, it'd be like, you're an idiot. If I'm telling you get the best of the best and you can't go beat everybody, or you can't, this year they didn't make the playoffs. That's you finish something like that again and you can go ahead and book it. There's no way that people, because here's the thing that's going around college football. There's so much donor fatigue, man. Donor fatigue, dude. So many people that, when you're given with millions, it's harder to give. When you're given with billions, it's kind of laughable. Obviously, it's kind of this is kind of fun. It's just my little hobby. Hey, just have some of this. But it's a different deal altogether.
All right. So who's the next Indiana or Miami that kind of is knocking on that door, needs a couple in the portal that come not necessarily out of nowhere, because both of those teams were top 15 teams and Indiana was in the playoff, but who's on your mind right now for that? Who's next for next season?
For what?
Getting into that could potentially compete for the championship. That's maybe that one or two portal additions away. Because Texas, I think, is one of those teams, as they were on the outside looking into the playoffs this year. What are some others?
The other ones that you're thinking about, though, is you got BYU and Utah. And now what's Utah with the funds? Utah with the funds is, how does that look, right? How does that change? How does that, do they join this conversation? So that's an interesting one. But here's what I do know. 100,000,000%. Miami is not done. Miami will get a quarterback. Cam Ward, Carson Beck, Miami understands this. Miami understands exactly what the mission is. If I don't have that dude, I can't go win. And they're going to get a guy. So I promise you they're not done for adding portal additions. They're not done for looking for those spots. But you think about those teams that are like Penn State with Iowa State now with Beck. You got a competent quarterback with a lot of experience. A lot of experienced guys from the roster. Are they a team now that makes a jump?
Penn State, a.k.a. Iowa State.
You ain't
Penn
lying.
State, Nittany Cyclones.
It's crazy. It's
LSU's
crazy.
Another team. So we got John Jacobs in the chat, LSU, Dan in the chat, Iowa. I think if they can get the QB right, but they lose a lot on the offensive line. But obviously they're usually always good.
I think their whole offensive line was in the portal at one point. Now that doesn't mean they can't re-sign some of them and bring them back, obviously. But literally their whole one was in the portal.
Notre Dame, I agree with Ski Boy there in the chat. Notre Dame is one. Do you know where Notre Dame's opening game is next year? It would actually be a phenomenal game to go to.
Isn't it? Are they in Ireland?
No, it's Wisconsin versus Wisconsin at Lambeau.
Oh.
Because I was looking at some schedules earlier today. Because my out of nowhere, as we were looking at this, and this was on the rundown, my out of nowhere teams were Penn State, a.k.a. Iowa State, but they play everybody, every Big Ten team that's really good. They play them. Cal is one I thought might be an out of nowhere team that makes a playoff run because of the QB, and maybe they get the right things around him. New coach brings new energy, new system, right schedule. They don't play a lot of the big ACC teams, so
it's a big leap.
But hey,
I like that.
I had to come up with something that was truly out of nowhere here.
Yeah, no, the portal's obviously big time, but like honestly, we're gonna see it in the portal. Like who can they get? And here's a promise. If I'm a team that needs a QB across the country, do yourself a favor. Actually, Wilcox is gone, but do yourself a favor. Just whoever Cal's signing, just go sign him, because Mendoza, our boy, I'm not going to say it. JKS.
Teave Sangopulatele.
Yeah, God bless you. They're finding these guys, man. Good Lord, they're finding them like crazy.
So here's my fact or fiction for this topic. Is college football now become just like college basketball in terms of, and I'll give you some numbers for this, distribution of Final Four teams. So I went back and looked. Last 5 seasons in college basketball, Duke, UConn, and Houston were the only teams that went to the Final Four twice. Last 5 years in college football before this year, you had 4 teams that went twice, 2 that went 3 times. So like Bama, Ohio State, Georgia, Notre Dame, Michigan, and Texas. Like, are we going to get to where, much like college basketball, where it basically flips like we've had the last 2 years, where it's a different 4 teams every year?
In this current system, I'm just telling you, the dominance that are from the teams that are from the South, it's not going to happen. Like, it's not, you don't have the money to compete. You literally, you don't have those guys. Like, they're hitting the same boosters every year, and it's not the same. Like, you could have 40,000 donors that doesn't equal Cody Campbell's like right pant leg. It just doesn't matter, right? Like,
his money clip. He probably has
his
that on
money
a clip.
clip still squashes all of them. Like, it's crazy, man. It's a crazy world, and the guys I named are the ones I want to be. I'm just telling you, like, those are the ones that are gonna dominate college football. And all those teams, I think they have really good coaches. They got really good coaches. Like, really good coaches with really good resources are going to get you really good players, and they're going to get you a shoot ton of wins and not very many losses. So if you're asking me who to bet on in college football that are going to be in those spaces, in those spots that you're talking about, I'll throw you all those names that we talked about in the beginning. Every single one of them, because they're going to be there.
Benjamins.
It's that world now, man. The developmental world is gone.
For those that look at this and be like, okay, why is there not a cap in terms of enforcement, and how is this ever going to get sort of become a level playing field? What is a thought process, or where do you think that actually gets to eventually?
It's just like anything else. Like, it takes time to get there. So here's the deal. Like, when it comes to how they figured out that number, they took the settlement number and they took the settlement number and they divided it by all the schools. So, like, all right, well, here's your budget. $20.5 million. It's set to increase, and it's going to increase. What do professional athletes get paid? They get paid about 50% of the revenue. So that's what they're trying to do. Like, they're trying to do that. But then this Deloitte arm that's supposed to come in and do the other stuff, nobody gives a rat's ace. Nobody listens to you. Nobody cares. That's why these contracts, there's still absolutely no accountability with these contracts. There's no accountability with the Deloitte arm that's supposed to be some kind of good thing. Like, it just literally,
enforcement. The NCAA can't, or is basically not an enforcement.
NCAA does nothing.
Exactly.
They do
right?
nothing. They do nothing. They throw on the college football tournament and give out the trophy. That's what they do.
So, not even the football one. I had a thought on this. I'll throw this out here. Heard it here first, kind of thing. Who can do the enforcement to me? It has to be the conferences.
Yep.
Like, the conference has to be the enforcement arm of this.
I've been saying this for years. I've been saying this for years. The SEC and the Big Ten have to go do it. But here's the problem. It's just like anything else. If you talk to them and you say that to Greg Sankey, Greg, you should break away. Because here's the thing. The NCAA makes all that money. Screw them. They don't need the money. I'm taking the money. we're going to take all this money. Now we got way more cash. Our institutions have way more cash, but lawsuit, antitrust. Can you come after us and sue us? How does that work? It's the same thing that stops every single thing about college sports. Coaches, agents, all this stuff, man. Like freaking what's his face? The QB from Ole Miss.
Trinidad.
I mean, Trinidad's a stud. Still suing for another year. Like, he's going to sue, and at some point he'll probably win, which is totally against everything that we've set this thing up. But
that's one I don't think he should, but yeah.
He should never win. I love the kid. I love everything about him. I would love to watch him another year. But if you have rules in place that you're going to give eligibility, you should stick with it. You should stick by it. You shouldn't just bend the rules at every lawsuit. But when you're an entity and you're getting sued left and right, you got to pay for that lawsuit. You got to pay for that lawsuit. You got to pay for that lawsuit. Like, it's one big lawsuit that's coming in tidal waves. And so you want to get something done, you sue. You want to stop something from getting done, you sue.
Obviously, collective bargaining has to come into this. My thought, though, was that could conferences, much like baseball and the NBA, like with the whole the apron deal in the NBA, like I think there's ways that conferences could potentially enforce some of this stuff, oversee it, and maybe be like, hey, there's a penalty for spending over X, and the penalty is I'm funding the other teams in the conference's payroll, or it's going to them. Like, who knows, something like that. But anyway, all right, let's get to some numbers. Pro Football Focus, Get Ball 25 is the code, because if you actually care about the draft, this is the time to, if you don't get into the season, get into the draft, because there's the big board and there's a draft simulator that PFF has that's phenomenal, that you can create any mock draft you want for any team, for any round, all number of rounds, all that sort of thing.
I haven't realized until recently, man, the draft is a phenomenon. Like,
it's a whole other world.
People love the draft. Like, I've always loved the draft and the backdrops and stuff and the stuff that goes into it. But man, people love the draft. Like, and so we're on board, man. We're going to do a lot of it. We're going to get to the coaches and we're going to tell you like all the different guys, and we'll have them on and stuff. But we're also going to talk to coaches at different universities about their players that are going to the draft.
All right. So these numbers, we're actually going to get to the game, because there is a kind of a big game next Monday. National championship game, Indiana at Miami. That's always amazing to see. And I've seen a lot of talk about that your opinion of that there being more Hoosier fans than Cane fans.
I told you it will happen.
Yep. All right. So
I've been there a million. I've seen the Miami crowds for years upon years. Hey, it'll be at least 60-40, probably 70-30, Indiana.
Okay.
At home.
Let's look at some individual matchups, because two different things. One is Indiana's offensive line against Ruben Bain, Keem Mesidor, Blay, Scott, Moton, their defensive line. Because Carter Smith at left tackle for Indiana, number 2 pass block grade in the FBS. Trey Zune at A&M was number 1. He hasn't allowed a sack. He's only allowed 6 pressures. So that's great. Good for Indiana. On the other side, though, Khalil Benson at right tackle.
No, don't look here. Don't look. Look over there.
56.2 pass grade.
Oy.
24 total QB pressures, 4 sacks allowed, and it was a struggle bus in the Oregon game. Like, he actually was, to me, a semi-turnstile in that game. So can Miami create a lot of stuff on the right side of Indiana's offensive line? Let me ask you a question.
He was a turnstile in that game. What was the score?
It was really bad. That was really bad. Oregon helped out in that regard.
Well, here's the thing. In a perfect world, that sounds like a problem. But, again, how can Miami do what nobody's been able to do? Well, not true. Iowa's been able to do. Ohio State was able to do. Can you cover good enough in the back end to make him hold it, where the pass rush really matters? That's where we'll have to see. Can you stop the run game? Can you get him in known passing situations where that could be an issue and that could be a problem? And here's another thing, Brent. Here's what's really, really fun. It's really fun when I have that guy who's not great and I got two guys that are really good, because I can put one over there and just say, go kick his ace, and I can blitz off the other side. Like, I can bring pressures up the middle and bring middle pressure, and I got guys that are going to win on the outside. It's a fun world. And in a perfect world, yes, that would be great. But you got to stop the run game, and you got to stop the other components of it before you get to that point.
So that was one of my thoughts going into this. If I'm Indiana, do I use a lot of my RPO game where the midline, the QB opens up, backs coming downhill right out of the pistol, that kind of stuff? Do I do that with the QB's eyes to the right, knowing that guy's more likely to get beat versus the guy on the backside?
I think you do it both sides. You can't give anything away like that, because then I'll cheat defensively, right? Like, I'll do the same exact thing. I'll cheat towards that side. I don't think Indiana feels like they have to do anything different, homie.
I don't.
If I'm
either.
Indiana, I'm not changing a single thing. I've been whomping everybody's ace. So, like, hey, Ohio State's really good, man. You're going to watch out. Hold it. Hey, Alabama, they're playing better. They're really on the come up. Man, shut the front door. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the out of here. Like, Oregon, rematch. They're so much better than they were. This is all you got? Hey, Mr. Nike, this is all you got? This is it? Like, I ain't worried about them uniforms. Like,
it would have been
so
fun.
If I'm Indiana, I ain't changing a dang thing.
Had the pick six not happen on the very first play, and then the fumble off of the first play,
Man, if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle. Get out of here with that crap. Like, if, ands, or buts, whatever.
It would eventually happen. We've already talked about Indiana's defensive line against Miami's offensive line and how Indiana does so much movement, stunting. They're one of the top stunting teams in the country. But the thing for me looking at this game is, do we continue to see what we've seen from Carson Beck over the last two games? And it's him using his legs and scrambling. He has 10 scrambles for 57 yards. Obviously not a big deal, but he's picked up 3 or 4 first downs. He's set up fourth downs, things like that, where his legs have become a part of it. And here's the thing. So 10 scrambles for 57 yards in the last two games. The previous 13 games this year with Miami, he had 75 yards. In 13 games. His best two, so he started 27 games at Georgia. If you took the best 2 games from him scrambling, it was only 61. It was 61 yards. So what he's done these last 2 weeks are completely against what he's done his career. So,
and Shannon Dawson talked about this. Like,
has to keep it up.
He said, I showed him the tape, and like I'm trying to get him to do this. Like, he has to do it at a more frequent level. And here's the even better part to that. The best part about that stat is it also limits Carson Beck's. It negates his weakness. To me, his weakness is when things break down a little bit, when he wants to go playmaking mode, it's not necessarily the good thing. It's not necessarily. Here's the thing. It's definitely not his best. But if I go bam, 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 nothing there, take off. Like, what's crazy about it, man, they were spying him some in the game. To think about that, and to think about that goofy athlete, he's not a goofy athlete, but you know what I'm saying? Like, he's not a freak athlete.
He's not a quick twitch.
You don't spy guys like that typically. Like, you spy guys that you're really scared and worried about. They were spying him because he was doing such a good job. And so now that also commits another resource to the middle of the field where, okay, can I attack the outside? So it's got to be a part of the game. Miami has a really good chance to win this game. If they don't commit penalties, if they don't commit turnovers, and if they can ground and pound. They're going to ground and pound. That's who they are. That's what they are. The other two is hit or miss with Miami. Like, first 2 games of the playoff, woo, we done kicked these penalties. Carson Beck's thrown to the right team. Third game, the tipped interception was not his fault. Kick rocks if you're going to try to use that. But the penalties, very much back. Very much. Offside. So here's the thing. If you've been watching the playoffs, they don't call penalties anymore. Like, they have made a concerted effort this postseason.
Yes,
They're like,
I agree.
we're going to let these guys play. I'm just telling you, every coach in America is going, guys, if you're playing DB and you're not mugging them every play, you're an idiot. Like, you know exactly what time this is. Every game we play in college football, you get a scouting report on the refs. You have a detailed scouting report. They have a tendency to call this. These are the things that are important. Make sure you wear the right gloves if we're an offensive lineman, so we're not getting holding calls. Like, these are details that you work on. Like,
yes.
So you're going to know 100%. Yes, I need to make sure that I got this covered. Like, I need to make sure that I am committing holding calls on the offensive line. I'm committing holding calls in the secondary. Like, and that evens a lot of things out, man.
So those are the numbers for the week. And yes, so RB Media, we talked about Carter Smith at left tackle that is there. That's not the worry. It's the other side. So,
yeah.
There. Who won the weekend?
Well, before we get to who won the weekend, one thing that can keep other schools and help other schools that aren't named those schools that we talked about at the beginning of the show is if you can get guys to stay at your school for less money. What Georgia just did with Nate Frazier. Nate Frazier could have made a lot more money to go somewhere else. 100%.
Yes.
100%. You've got to convince people, and Kirby can do this as well as anybody, and show them. Just look at the NFL data. This is good money, guys. This is not bad money. I'm not knocking. Let me show you what I can make life-changing money. So to get a Nate Frazier stay, that is huge for Georgia. Absolutely freaking-normous, because he was one of the best backs in the country down the stretch.
Yes.
Like, the way he hits the holes with the ferocity that he started to hit the holes, because he's always been quick twitch and quick, but he danced a little too much for my liking, to be honest. Now that sucker's hitting it, and it's 5-6 yards a pop. So huge addition for Georgia. A team like Georgia, again, they're not, addition by keeping. That's what recruiting is now, keeping your own guys a lot of times. But, those teams that aren't named, the Texas schools and Oregon and now Indiana with the billions and other guys with the billions, to keep Frazier is a huge, huge deal. So I would go, actually, you know what? I should have just.
Did Georgia win the weekend with that?
I should have just said that. Like, Georgia won the weekend keeping Nate Frazier. But I'm going to do another one. I'm going to give you another winner. Georgia's definitely a winner. LSU's a winner. Getting Sam Leavitt. Big deal. Because Lane Kiffin comes there. He's got backing. He's got a war chest ready to spend. I'm Lane Kiffin. This is what I've done. You know my resume. Like, you're very aware of what I've done. If Lane Kiffin doesn't get a quarterback, Lane Kiffin's already way behind the 8 ball. So they have to go get a dude, somebody. And it's interesting. If you look at Lane Kiffin's last quarterback that was a first-round pick that he just got rid of, that went to the NFL, Jackson Dart. Sam Leavitt looks a lot like Jackson Dart. And I say that, unbelievable competitor, elite competitor, can scramble, can make plays, confidence, moxie. Now, he's got a lot to prove, and he's got a lot to learn in getting into a new system. He's going to do it with some fun people. But the Sam Leavitt experience, if he does end up going there, it's not confirmed yet. He's committed, which absolutely can change, and the numbers can change. But this could be a Jaden Daniels effect. Like, having a guy that can run it, can throw it, lane that can orchestrate offense. The receiver transfer portals for them got good quick, got way better quick. They hold the roster together. Sam Leavitt has a chance to be elite, like elite of elite. So I think LSU, that was a big coup, big feather in the cap, if it comes to fruition, because Lord knows it could still happen. But right now, looking pretty good. Who you got, Wesley? Never mind, Brent. Who you got?
The Miami Hurricanes, and primarily the Miami Hurricanes bank account, because the ACC is a little different. The Canes get all $20 million.
All 20.
Not also do they only get $20 million. They get the $3 million in the travel expenses. And guess what they don't have to do? They don't have to travel. So it's hey, if you want to offer a certain QB who may have said he was going to the draft, an extra month, maybe an extra $3 million he wouldn't offer tomorrow already. Well, there it is. It's right there. Because you got a home national championship game.
Isn't that awesome?
So, yeah.
Like, what a week. Like,
Bank account looking well for the Canes.
But listen, in fairness, the ACC and the Big 12 get screwed because they have nowhere near the budget or money-making power. So this really evens it out for Miami. This gives them a chance. One thing Miami has done,
and others that have success.
Cam Ward, Carson Beck, like they've swung at quarterback and they've hit. So if they can keep that going, they got a chance to repeat and come right back where they were. Wesley, what you got, homie?
Not on mute, am I?
No, you're good this time, man.
All right, good. I was worried that I've actually had I've had a couple nightmares about being on mute, as pathetic as that is, but that's what dominates my thoughts these days. All right, my winner is the Oregon ops guy that went and gave the to D'Angelo Ponds. Did y'all see that?
I did. That was pretty cool.
I'll pull up a graphic of it here, but I thought that was cool.
That was a great
I'm sure stuff like that happens all the time, but I don't know. I thought it was awesome.
I don't think it happens all the time, but I think it's a classy move to have the awareness to understand like the big moment, the magnitude. Pons obviously got the first play. He was the one who got the pick, and there you see it right there. The ops guy bring him the football, and he was like, man, that's really cool of you. So you're right. That's a good job by the Ducks and the ops guy giving Pons his.
I think that's actually Phil Knight. I'm trying to confirm that.
That
might actually be him.
That's not Phil Knight. That's absolutely not Phil Knight.
Can you prove that it isn't?
Yes, unless it's AI generated Phil Knight. Phil Knight's old.
Yeah. He was also giving him some cash. He was like, "Hey man, come over, come play for us next season."
Hey,
was wrapped up in that football.
If you want to talk about like recruiting and stuff too, like think about being Oregon and having Phil Knight and being like, so they have this account called Nike ID, and I had it for years as a Nike endorser athlete. Where
you could like make your own shoes, right? You could put like different.
Oh, sorry, it's not even Nike ID. I forget what the site's called. Anyways, you go on there, you log in, you pick out what you want, and it sends it to you. Like, but ID is part of it as well, where you can create your own shoes. But the Nike login, all those guys, like, hey, come play at Oregon. Your family gets a lot of Nike, like clothes, shoes, pants, golf. We got everything. Like, what a beautiful tool. Like, maybe you could get Dylan Raiola because he just
kind of did.
Decided to go to the Ducks too. So, listen, I apologize because we probably went way too much on the portal and probably way too much on the offseason because we still got a season, by gosh, and we need to talk about it while we can. So, Wesley, when are we going to be back?
We'll be back Wednesday unless you get lost in a different city or something.
Oh, my gosh. Should I tell that story real quick?
Nah. Save it. Save that.
Okay.
That's an all-timer, by the way. And it's only going to get funnier. I know you're still a little upset about it, but it's only going to get funnier as the days and weeks pass.
I'll tell y'all why we didn't see y'all last week. Next episode, Dre. We'll wait till the next episode.
We'll be back for sure Wednesday, but I know we're working on some guests, so you never know. Those
feel
might
really
pop
good
up
about grabbing a quarterback you might know. Feel really good about that, and then we're efforting really hard for a playmaker.
Like on the show, like to join the show or to be a guest?
A playmaker.
Playmaker. All right.
Playmaker.
All right. Yeah. Wednesday for sure. And just lock it in. I mean, we're here on YouTube, audio edition as well, as you're riding around town and getting your college football knowledge. I mean, the comments speak for themselves. A lot of people really appreciating just sticking to the ball knowledge and sprinkling in a little bit of fun as well. So thanks for joining us each and every week. We'll see y'all soon.
Peace.
I got to pull up this picture. You know how hard it is to pull up this picture while I'm also talking.
A little harder
Good
to talk
night.
and do things. Yeah, good night is right.